And that's what we do with everything. That's the way a human being is put together. He is put together in such a way to where he manipulates everything within his fucking grasp into what he wants it to be and what he would like it to be in relationship to him. Okay? And I've touched on this before, and it's cut and dry. When, you know, as soon as they invented the ability to split the atom, the first fucking thing they did is build an atom bomb. And after they built the fucking atom bomb, they dropped it on somebody. Why? Because they manipulated that force into what they wanted it to be, and they manipulated it into something they could use to do what the fuck they were doing. You see what I'm saying? And that's just the way a human being is put together. I'm a human being. I know that that's the way I'm put together, and I know that that's a part of my situation. That's the way I am. That's, you know, but that's the part of me that I'm not that interested in, really, if you really want to know. Because I'm not that interested in it, because now that I see that human beings on the whole are not really that defendable as a creature, if you know what I'm saying. In other words, it's impossible to defend a guy that splits the atom, builds an atom bomb, and drops it on another poor son of a bitch. You can't defend that guy. In other words, that guy is fucking as obvious as it can get that there's something wrong with that fucking guy, no matter who he is. I'm talking about the human race in general. There's something wrong with the entire human race. You know, it's got some kind of bent that can't control itself from doing shit that is fucking suspect. Can we start from there? And splitting the atom and turn it into an atom bomb, that's fucking suspect. I don't know if you know that or not. I don't know if I'm telling you something really fucking new, but that's definitely something suspect about, you know what I mean? If we could stand outside of the human race and we could be looking at the human race and we would see it do what it's doing, we would be saying to ourselves, you know, there's something wrong with that fucking with that situation down there, because they are self-destructive. In other words, I'm assuming that life has a tendency to want to, from what we see in nature, from what we can see of life, life has a tendency to want to stay alive. That's the first fucking thing life has, is a tendency to want to stay alive. Now you've got this fucking part of life that has a tendency to want to fuck it up and bring it to death. Now you've got a problem. Here you've got a guy that has a tendency to want to stay alive, and he's fucking acing himself like there's no tomorrow. That guy has a problem. Right? Because the tendency of life is to want to stay alive. Now you've got this guy that has this tendency, but can somehow override this tendency to the degree where he could fucking make himself extinct. That's how good he can override this natural drive, this natural tendency that a human being has to stay alive. You don't think there's something wrong with that creature? So, I mean, well, anyways, fuck it. It doesn't matter whether you think there's something wrong with that creature or not. The fact is that there is something wrong with that creature, and what's wrong with that creature is what's in the Bible, what's in God's thing, and God's already telling us that that's what's wrong with us. God's not breaking any great revelatory news to us in that respect. You know, God is saying that man is fucked up. He's sinning. He's broken the connection to God. That's what sin is, you know, the broken connection, the inability to measure up to God's perfection, you know, and God's saying that basic sin, you know, the overall sin is the inability to measure up to the perfection, which translates to you're going to want to go your own way and do your own shit in your own fashion and to where it pleases you without considering God. That's what man's basic drive is. You know, it's in religious parlance, it's man is going to go his own way, and he's going to turn everybody to his own way. You see what I mean? Man has a tendency to stray and go and want to get things together his own self in his own way. And then he's not happy just to do that. He turns everybody to that way. And, of course, it's the most powerful is going to do it the fastest. The guy that's the most powerful, that guy's going to do it at the fucking speed of light. Like, for instance, in our case today, the United States, you know, this ass-kicking powerful nation, the most powerful nation in the world, they want to get everybody straightened out and make sure that people understand that democracy is a righteous happening thing. And so because they're the most powerful, they're turning everybody to their own way. You see what I mean? They're turning people, they're going a certain way, and they're turning the entire world to that way, because that's the way man is. You know, I hope I'm not breaking any fucking, you know, tremendously new news to you. That's just the way man is. And that's all accounted for in the Bible and in the Testament of God. God's got all that under control. God knows how we are, okay? Let's just start from there. God knows exactly how we fucking are. So,